Are you ready to actually be able to replace yourself in your business? If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Lai. I run a virtual assistant agency here in the Philippines called 2XU, and I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now, you might have clicked on this video because you're trying to find a way to free yourself up for your business, or you found other people who are talking about the same topic. But the concept basic of replacing yourself kind of comes from when you're a business owner, or if you have a career that you don't want to be the bottleneck of the business. You don't want to be the bottleneck where you can't take a break, you can't go on vacation, you can't take a holiday because everything in the business or in the area of your career just hinges on you. So I want to walk you through the step-by-step process of how to replace yourself, or be able to just make yourself replaceable in your work, so then it's easy to step away if you need to, as well as to just generally free you up so you don't have to feel that you're stuck somewhere. Now, the first step you need to do is start with why. What I mean by this is start with why you want to replace yourself. Now, I was just watching this video from Patrick Bet-David where he was talking about basically if you are the owner of a business, or if you have a career and you are not able to replace yourself out of it, all of the value of the business is stuck on you and you can't grow beyond it. And I've seen that happen for myself with 2XU, where before I started hiring managers and replacing myself in different roles, everything hinged on me. And one of the biggest mistakes that I made in 2XU has been that of not replacing myself faster and losing a lot of really good people in the process. So for you, look at yourself in your business of like starting with the why, because your why might be different from everyone else. Your why might be that you want to sell your business. Your why might be because you want to have your business part-time, or your why might be you're actually planning to leave the company in a few months to start your own business. Whatever the reason might be, is you want to be able to get to the point where you are starting with that why for yourself, so it doesn't have to be hinged on anyone else. Next is you want to build out your lifestyle of what would this actually look like if you succeed, or even when you succeed. So basically, if the cheesy question of if money was no object, how would you like to live your life? This way you're more intentional. You started with your why you want to be replaced, and now what you're going to do afterwards is a pretty good way to bridge the gap whenever you're trying to think of this for yourself. So what does that lifestyle look like for you? So for me, on replacing myself, I just want to work in the mornings and read books the whole afternoon. That's basically kind of my lifestyle, where I can be a jet setter, I can travel anywhere, have all of my meetings and work in the morning, and then my afternoons, 2 hours, the evenings are free. That's my ideal life. Now, I am not all the way there for so far. It's a little bit difficult with having US clients and Australian clients where they're on different sides of the time zone, but I have slowly replaced myself in a lot of the meetings, so I don't have to be there. And I'll walk you through that process. But I started with that lifestyle where I want to be working in the mornings, and then the afternoon I'm freed up to be able to explore cities, read, and do other things that I love, aside from, of course, my own business. Next is you need to go through the process of writing down everything that you do. Now, there's different ways that you can do this. One is you can literally just go through the last task list that you've had for the last month. Next is, of course, if you have a virtual assistant, you can have them shadow you basically for the next month to look at all the things that you are doing. I'm saying the next month here, not just the next week, because there are recurring tasks that you might be doing monthly that you're not aware of, that then your assistant can basically capture for you and put it aside. A lot of the times when you're an entrepreneur or you're just doing your day-to-day work, you are not fully aware of the things that you're actually getting done, especially the ones that take you like 2 minutes to be able to do. So it's really important to look at that first, of writing down every single thing that you're doing. Next is, once you have that list, hopefully, you need to go ahead and assess your tasks. Now you have that list, go through what are the things that you actually love doing, and what are the things that you would rather be delegating and giving to someone else. Now, this is a exercise to do whether or not you are actually working to replace yourself. If you're just looking to grow your business, it's a really good exercise to go through. But a good way that I've thought of this is you can basically do a little bit of what I like to call the 2XU quadrant, which is basically on the axis you have things that you like doing, you don't like doing, and things that make you a lot of money and don't really make you a lot of money. So it's a good assessment, of course, on the first one of like things that you like to do and make you money. That's where your focus should be. The things that make you a lot of money but you don't like to do, that's what we call the 2XU opportunity, of like, this is a way for you to be able to make more money because you are not the one doing it. So it's delegating it to someone else. And of course, for the rest of the categories of things that you love but don't really make a lot of money, you automate that, make that easier for yourself to do. And things that you don't like and don't really make you money, eliminate that from your business. So it's a good way to just look at yourself and your business of where you're at to be able to further just free yourself up and not just to have everything in your head. Next is you want to evaluate the current team that you might have if you have one. So what I mean by this is you want to look at their strengths and weaknesses, you want to look at the skills that they have, the skills they want to grow into, also maybe evaluate the skills that they are not really that good at, but for some reason has it on their plate basically. So you want to do that, a little bit of evaluation, so you can from your list start delegating a few responsibilities to them, hopefully not overworking them as well. But this process basically is going through and making sure that you are not anymore doing the things that you're not really that good at, and especially the ones that make you a lot of money. You want to also evaluate their own goals and where they want to go, so you can align the responsibilities that you're giving to them. And it might be that you have to create a whole new job role as well to fit a little bit of delegating that and also upgrading them as a team member. I've done that multiple times into XU in the last year, of just seeing and kind of creating and crafting job roles and job positions for our people depending on where they want to grow into. Next is with your team, hopefully you want to make sure that you document everything. Now, one of the things that we do into XU is we have someone who's in charge of just our SOPs and what we call our business operating system. So a lot of what they do is just going through all of these standard operating procedures and making sure she basically checks them every 6 months, make sure that's up to date, make sure that everything's actually on there. And on the BOS side, basically the business operating systems, we basically have the assets that we have documented. So if anything, if anyone is getting replaced or anyone's moving up, it's easy to train the next person because we have everything documented. So that's what I mean. It might be a person, an intern maybe in your company even, who is going through every single division or every single department and asking them like, hey, how does this work? And basically mapping out step by step how a process is from beginning to end basically. So you're making sure that there's documentation, especially for the work that you're doing. A lot of the time, again, because we're an entrepreneur or we've been the one doing it for years, there's steps that we skip or steps that we don't think is necessary but actually is, but because we're an expert, we didn't add it to the documentation. So having someone that even your assistant or that intern kind of just follow through and test your documentation is going to be really crucial to make sure that they're going to make the same output basically that you've been making for years by yourself. Next is then you want to make sure that you develop your team. Now, if you don't have any team members right now, that's one of the things you probably have to start doing, is thinking of roles and responsibilities for the first hire. My first hire honestly was my own assistant, just because I didn't know what I didn't know about myself and the business. So I needed someone to shadow me so that I could further develop myself. Then since then on developing my team, I've developed them in ways of like, hey, I want to be manager. Like, okay, let's craft and aim, like tee you up basically to this point. And if someone says like, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z, I basically find projects and find opportunities for them to grow into that. So then for me, I'm further just replacing myself in a lot of these roles, and I don't have to be the one doing them. And lastly, and this might be, of course, easier said than done, is try to duplicate your magic. Now, what I mean by this is a lot of the time, the fear that we go through when we're replacing ourselves is that this person's not going to be good enough, that this person is not going to do it the same way we're doing it, that this person is not going to capture our magic. And to be honest, when it comes to duplicating your magic, all of it goes to what are the principles that you have? What are the values that you have for your company or your business? It's being intentional about the culture, especially when you're hiring replacement of yourself, of seeing if they are an actual match character-wise and not just skills-wise. I've made this mistake before in 2XU where I hire someone because they have really good experience before going to 2XU, of them just not working out because they don't have the right culture fit. So prioritize as much as possible that magic, duplicating your magic throughout your whole business, of making it part basically of your systems in your business, of what the culture is about. We do that a lot in 2XU where, if someone wants to be passionately curious more in our values, we give them a lot of courses and a lot of tests and a lot of challenges. If someone wants to grow into being more of a systems ninja, which is another one of our values, we give them opportunities to be able to get there. So duplicating your magic is being intentional about the culture. So even as I basically take my half days off, I know things in the business can still run without me, which is ultimately the goal of replacing myself. So hopefully as you go through this journey of replacing yourself in the business, you will have fun somewhere in between there. You'll realize a few things. You'll like, hey, if you turn this one lever on here, everything will be a little bit easier. Hopefully that goes through with you as well, as I've been going through in the last year of replacing myself inside of 2XU. Now, if you guys like this video, of course, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there and comment below what are the ways that you're replacing yourself, or what's the first role basically that you want to replace yourself in. Mine was marketing. I would love to know yours. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out the two playlists right here and the latest video right here. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!